All right. Super quick live. So one of the very cool things that happened that I haven't talked a lot about is we did end up putting together PEFI 5, have an amazing, amazing group. And the thing that is unique about this group is, I had the opportunity to put together a all-female fund. When we looked at the applications, we looked at the people who were interested. Obviously we had a lot of males. I've talked about the fact that, when it comes to this channel, it is 98% white male, which is great. It's not to say that that just there are very few people that are interested. I don't advertise. There's the only way you're going to end up here is that you are searching for private equity at this point. And even before, there was a little bit more of a diverse group. Durval just popped on. And before, when I spent more time talking about just buying and selling businesses, it's definitely diverse. And as obviously, we still help people. Durval, thanks for popping in. We'll pop you on screen here. He's in the Deal Makers Institute. And so, I've done content for 10 years on buying and selling businesses. And I've definitely noticed that, I don't have a lot of content on private equity, but I've noticed that as I've spent more time talking about private equity, it's become a tighter and tighter audience. And so when I saw that we had the opportunity in PEFI 5 to, we had 4 amazing, very highly qualified. We're going on what's now week 8 of that group of folks, and that it's really cool to have, despite the fact that my audience is 98% male, to be able to put together what's a rarity, a complete fund that's run by all females. And so that has been a unique thing. Shout out to the amazing fellas, Flint Harold. Hopefully you watch this. I appreciate your there are just several folks that have been very patient through multiple PEFIs that, it's like, all right, we got this one. So this was one where we had multiple guys, quite frankly, that we had to put on the back burner and just tell them, hey, not this one. We're gonna keep doing this. Please be patient. Feel free to take your deposit back if you don't want to be patient. And most of the folks not even most, everybody that we reached back out to and said, hey, we're going to get started with PEFI 5. It's going to be a couple months. It's literally been 2 months, close to 3 months, that, I'm not here selling, I'm not here trying to sell as much as I can. I'm not here trying to pack as many of these into a year as we can. I want to make sure that every time we're launching a new PEFI, we have plenty of folks we have plenty of resources and access, and my team and all that that aren't stretched thin to be able to help each PEFI launch. And so, Marissa, thank you for popping in. Let's say hello to some folks, and I will just jump right in here. Emmanuel, what is up? Thanks for coming in. Marva, thanks for coming in. Breon, I appreciate you. Dr. Glock, I appreciate you coming. Hey. All right, so this is a good question to start off. How do you join the Academy? So obviously, I'm talking about the launch of PEFI 6, but we always are getting people started in buying and selling businesses with the Deal Makers Institute. You can go there, www.dealmakersinstitute.com. Oh, we're live on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been blocking the lives for a little while, so that is awesome. It's obviously still not working all the way because there's no way that you have a LinkedIn account and you don't have a name in your LinkedIn account. Like, you literally can't open an account without putting your name in. So the fact that this says LinkedIn user as opposed to name means that there's still some kind of technical difficulty, but it's just great to see that LinkedIn user is here, because that means that we are on LinkedIn. So thanks for saying hello. I certainly appreciate it. And it's AJ that you gave us his name. So that's cool. So let's go back to Dr. Glock. How you join the Academy? Dealmakersinstitute.com. Go there. You can set up a call. We'll jump on a call with you, make sure it's the right fit. You know, one of the things with everything that I've done, you know, I was talking today with a couple of my partners on the company that we're taking public. And, you know, looking back over my income over the last 2 years, was talking about the fact that, like, you know, majority of my income actually ended up coming from crypto, which is, you know, just a rarity because of the last 2 years. And then, you know, secondly, it's directly from the businesses that are owned. And then outside of that, from, you know, my, you know, kind of personal investments. And so my income from, you know, being a guru, as you might say, is very minimal. Like, my percentage of income is very, very, very small. And so one of the things that allows is that we're really interested in working with people that want to do deals. And we've even shifted. That was one of my things, Curtis and I, who's the CEO and doing an amazing job running Dealmakers Institute. A big part of what we're doing there is we want to do deals. You know, I'm so proud of just the number of deals that are getting done. It's a very small group. You know, you have the gurus that are teaching buying businesses, and they have hundreds of people that are going through the courses. But how many deals are being done? You know, we end up getting those people coming to us, and they're not getting, you know, it's like they get the deals done once they come to us. And I think that it's a very tough thing to just say, watch these videos and go do deals. And so we want to cultivate that relationship. We want to bring money to the table. We want to partner with you. Like, I don't talk about this stuff because it's a way for me to get money from you. I talk about this stuff because it's a great way to make money. If it's a great way to make money, let's go make money together. And so that's the philosophy with Dealmakers Institute. That's the philosophy, obviously, with the private equity fund incubator, where, you know, it's a little bit different because I'm literally putting over $100,000 of my money in each of these funds as a minimal. And so one of the reasons that I have no interest in just, hey, let's just pack these up. You know, I want to take time. I want to take time with the amazing team that is PEFI 4. Shout out to y'all. I want to take time with the amazing ladies of PEFI 5. Shout out to y'all. And all of PEFI 1, PEFI 2, PEFI 3. Each one, I want to make sure that they're doing it because, hey, they're managing my money. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that they're ready to go. We're going to win together. So that's very, very exciting. And so I want to start this video off. We'll do our normal question and answer thing. But I wanted to say we are finally ready to roll with PEFI 6. I figure, you know, we'll go through this process. We'll be able to hit the ground running by the beginning of the year, building the fund. And it's just really cool. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to start a fund from scratch and see some of the paradigm shifts that people have as we go through case studies. And one of the coolest things is, you know, when we first started this, it was all new. PEFI 1. Shout out to the fellows of PEFI 1, doing an amazing job because I was kind of wading through new waters. And it's cool now. We're at a point where I'm talking about, we're going through the case studies, and with a lot of the case studies, like, and this ties into a deal that we did in PEFI 1. And here's a case study from our own incubator. This case study ties into PEFI 2. And so, yeah, it's amazing what Eddie Lampert did with the acquisition of Kmart and leveraging the shares of that to take over Sears and, using those two together to start these other two entities. And here's a similar strategy that we did in PEFI 3. And so now, not only are we building up our own case studies, but we're creating this ecosystem where these funds get to do deals together. So, it's one thing to have a vision. Like a lot of that is the vision that I had at the beginning of 2020. It, we went through all of the craziness with COVID. And it's really cool to see all of that come to fruition. All right. So before I say anything else, be sure you like, because as I've talked about before, when it comes to my channel, we don't save likes here. There's just no reason to watch and not like, because that's 100% free. We want to save our money. We want to invest our money. We want to get returns on our money. Last thing we want to do is save up likes, because that ain't making you anything. Save your money, give away the likes. All right. Dr. Glass says, okay, thanks. So that answers that. Let me know. Feel free to, and then secondly, say hello or fill in any questions here. Let's see what we got from Brandon. This is from Facebook. Get a lot of e-com brands in the 1 to 10 million value range, all off market. Let me know if that's something in your target acquisition criteria. Yes, so it definitely is, especially if it's not in Amazon. Just because if you're in the space, you already know, but for the other listeners, there are aggregators that have raised going on billions of dollars, if not already there, to acquire Amazon businesses. And it's you have to be in that $1 billion game now to compete. And there's a lot of nuance to this, but I don't want to compete against the aggregators. There's just too much opportunity. I talk a lot about the micro private equity game. And one of the reasons that I love micro private equity is because I get to play against unsophisticated players. And what that allows us to do is, we know there's only so much capital that we're up against. And so when you've got people that are basically trying to acquire a whole marketplace, it puts you to a disadvantage. Just in simple terms, I wouldn't go into business in the search engine industry because I don't want to compete with Google. Is somebody eventually going to beat Google at their game? Yes, but I'm not in that business. I'm in the business of generating returns. And so the last thing I want to do is be at a disadvantage because I'm trying to compete against someone who is basically vastly out armors me. It's an army that, I already know, okay, they can beat us, they can squash us like an ant. And there's too much money, especially right now. There's just too much money to be made in the micro space where you can compete against other micro businesses, that I don't want to be in a game where I'm competing against some monster that, I wouldn't try to start an iPhone business to compete against Apple. But yes, those are definitely deals that we want to look at. I was just on a call. We're talking about what would end up being a $15 million deal. So literally from zero on the low end Because there are strategic opportunities. A lot of the businesses that we own, if we can find something that's even a $50,000 business, but it has some strategic value to one of the many businesses in the fund, one of the businesses that is owned by a deal makers institute member. And this is one of the benefits of even deal makers, is that we're not just saying, hey, go out there and do a deal. We've got members right now that have just bought several hair salons from on the East Coast, in the north down to Florida. And so it's basically like this chain almost, where they're able to exchange secrets, help each other, invest in each other, even eventually create a brand that's almost like this franchise type of operation, where you've got all of these things that if one starts a shampoo brand, now it can be in this chain that's owned by other Deal Makers Institute members. And so we're doing those kinds of things obviously within the fund, but it extends to the Deal Makers Institute. And then obviously my portfolio as well. So from zero on the low end to $15 million deal that we're considering and looking at. Phil, what up, homie? Thanks for popping in. What do you look for in companies to be folded into these funds? What types of industries dominate the portfolios? So here's what I love, because I'm very much, I came into this game without any experience in anything. I think if you do have experience, the first thing you want to do is filter the deals that you're looking at based on that. And so if you look at my initial deals in my early 20s, it was everything from an internet business to my next acquisition. Because that internet business failed, I ended up making kind of an ROI on my initial investment. But I dropped out of college because that business got too big for me to run it from my dorm room. Had investors, all this stuff, but 2 years later it failed. But didn't have a college degree, didn't know what I was going to do. Was working at a bank doing mortgages, and I didn't even know. Even though I bought my first business, I didn't realize that there was this world of buying and selling businesses. And then it hit me one day, like, I wonder if I could just buy a mortgage company. I was frustrated in corporate America working at this mortgage company. I'm like, I wonder if I could just buy my own mortgage company. And then I realized, like, oh, and so that ended up being my second kind of leveraged buyout, using very little cash. And I bought that business. So I went from an internet-based business to a mortgage company that led to a homebester franchise. I learned about this world of franchising, which got me into several franchises, including clothing retail. And so it was very much of, oh, okay, I learned this little game. Let me leverage that into this next little game. And so it's been varied into all kinds of different industries. And so I've had the good and bad fortune of, over the last 20 years, getting a little bit of a lot of different industries. So I come into each fund really trying to learn, and I'm doing that from the beginning. I'm learning about what the experience is for each of the people that are coming into the fund. And we're literally building it from scratch. I think some people don't believe it. I think some people are like, there's no way that he's really just letting these fund managers take his money and raise additional capital and just go out there and implement their own strategy. Each one of these things is their own fund and has their own strategy. Just to give you an example, like everything from business in the accounting space, like literally a bookkeeping firm to accounting firm to, because taxes is done as well. And we do have a head that's literally a CPA, but everything from an accounting business to a wine business to an art business to a music business. And this is across funds. This isn't one fund. to multiple info businesses through in the different funds, crypto business, a finance lending business. What else is in these things? E-commerce, drop shipping, SaaS, agency, marketing agency. I mean, it literally, it's everything. So if that gives you, I could go on and on, but that just gives you a little bit of a taste or feel. Let me know if that gives you an answer, or if there's a follow-up question to that. Dude, this is so it. This is life. Like this right here, what Dr. Glock says is life. Don't go where the crowd is. This is the most important lesson that I got from Dr. Mike Aiken. I've talked about the gentleman who flipped hospitals and was an amazing mentor to me. You're not the God, like you gotta train we're trained as a mechanism of survival in a tribal setting. And so this is like deep in our DNA. It's just deep ingrained in your brain at the core, is that you don't want to be going a path alone, because literally going against the tribe, going against the crowd literally equal death. And so the most important thing, I feel like, we've now reached a point where the biggest opportunities were in crypto. When I'm hanging out with a buddy and I'm sitting at my computer and I'm logged in and I'm about to buy crypto, and I'm putting together this whole thing. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What is that? I'm like, I'm about to buy some crypto, and this is 2012, and he knows, like, we've talked about this. The homie Chantel, we're chilling. He's like, dude, like, you about to put your what is crypto? Like, what are you gonna buy with this Bitcoin stuff? And it's a couple $100. I'm like, I will just buy 3 of them. I'm getting, about $600. I don't know exactly what it's gonna do, but I like what the philosophy behind it is. And I was kind of in finance. He's like, okay, so you're gonna buy it, but then like, what do you get? And I'm like, well, like right now, just the crypto. And then he's like, well, what can you buy the crypto with? What can you buy with the crypto? I'm like, dude, nothing right now. But I think one day he's like, so you about to put $600 that you can buy stuff with and get some money that you can't buy nothing with? It's like, dog, let's go to the bar, man. We got to get out of here. You obviously need a drink. I was like, you know what, dog, you're right. And so I ended up waiting until it was about 3,000, which still was great. But, that was one of those lessons of just multiple things: who you hang out with, who you're taking advice from, all that stuff. But most importantly is what Dr. Glock is saying. It's like, don't follow the crowd. One of the things that makes me, honestly, even in this space, the more people that talk about this, and we're still so tiny, nobody's talking about it, but I never want to be in the crowd. It took me a while to realize, like, oh, this is why private equity is so popular, because they don't talk about it. I literally, you guys may have seen, I erased about 400 videos from my channel, and I'm starting, to talk about some different things here. But, some of that is, there's multiple reasons that I won't go into in this video. But there's just a huge amount of value to having a tight-knit group of people that you pull together, you give a ton of information to, and you go out like the Avengers and attack the market. So yes, you're exactly right. All right, this is interesting. This is interesting. All right, so it says, I was one of the original brokers for Thrasio. I didn't mention the name, but I mentioned it kind of in passing when I was talking about the Amazon aggregators. And there's a lot of opportunity for Amazon and Shopify businesses in the hub, 5 million EBITDA, and the aggregators feel are too small. So here's the big opportunity with aggregators is selling. I have some friends that are selling businesses to these aggregators and are just absolutely killing it. It goes back, there's a video that I did, actually, I don't know if it's up, but I talk about the fact that I don't like marketing. The reason I don't like marketing is like, I just want to find, I don't want to have something and then go and find somebody that wants to buy it. The reason I love buying businesses is that there are people that want to buy businesses. I don't need to go and find those people. If I have the right businesses, the right business that has systems, that has operating procedures, that has a marketing system, that has profits, I'm selling at a multiple profit, there's basically this ready group of people that are ready to buy it. Same thing when it comes, and specifically, if you're doing a business in the Amazon space, if I were going to do deals in what LinkedIn user, I don't know if this one is AJ or a different person, but if I were going to do those deals, I literally would target getting to the point where these buyers are ready to buy, and you basically have your end buyer, which is why I don't like marketing, is because what marketing represents is that you've got something that you need to sell that you didn't already have the buyer for before you owned it. Sam B, what up, homie? Thanks for popping in. Man, I'm going to be in Chattanooga for Thanksgiving. Really hope we get to connect. Way overdue for a catch-up. Sam's doing some really amazing things and impactful things in an up-and-coming cannabis space. Melvin, what's up, man? Do you remember how you found some of your first few deals? It was all networking. I did not use a broker. I did not have a system. I didn't even know that I could use a broker. I didn't even know about brokers. I literally bought, probably my first 4 or 5 businesses were bought before I knew that I could use a broker. So all of it, finding my mentor, everything, like, here's one of the funny things for me, like, y'all got it so easy. Like, it is so easy now. Like, people don't remember what it was like before the internet. Like, I was doing all this stuff literally in the infancy of the internet, and there just might as well not been an internet. Like, even when you say there's an infancy, I think you can think, oh, well, maybe there was a biz by sale, but it was just young. And it's like, no, like, that didn't exist. None of this stuff that y'all can use literally did not exist. There's no excuse. We're in this amazing renaissance right now, that's in between where when I started and like you just had to go and talk to people and meet and just get lucky, literally, and saturation. So right now we're in the middle where it's very easy. All the tools, all the resources, availability, the brokers, the deals, the biz by sales, all this stuff, the money, there's just more money available. All these programs that y'all take for granted, that all that stuff didn't exist. So not like, forget just how to find the deal, it was way more difficult. How to finance the deal was way more difficult. Just don't be lazy. I like, and this isn't directed towards you, Melvin, but like, there's so many freaking people that we've been spoiled. And I think we're also in a unique time economically where there's a lot of money that's been printed and the inflation hasn't caught up. There are a lot of people that think they're making money in the stock market and they're making money in crypto. And it's really just keeping up with what's really happening with inflation. And there are a lot of people that don't want to work jobs that they're going to realize that they should have been stacking like crazy and working like crazy, because the little bit of money they have is going to be worth way less. You're already seeing it. I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm telling you. And, some will listen, some won't. All right. Let's do this. And I'm gonna pop out of here. Patrick Bentley, dang, I just jumped in late. Will be available as recording. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up for a little bit. I'm starting to delete these. I'm starting to put them up. I want to connect. I want to find the people that want to do stuff with me, and then I delete. There's just no reason for me to leave it up. So yes, we'll be up for a little bit. I'm gonna end this, and then we'll So Melvin, we'll do this as the last one. Melvin Menendez says, "It's okay, Ace. Sometimes I feel lost in the sauce." I feel you, man. Feel free, feel free to reach out. I'm on Instagram. You can hit me, ace.chapman. I know it's complicated times. I do want to provide general value. I also want, now bottom line is, and here's the bottom line for even like deleting things and those kinds of things is, as I'm building funds with people, it becomes more real that I don't want to give them more competition. It's like for me, for years, I've been doing free stuff and giving out stuff and all that for 15 years. And so, I don't have a problem with it. But when I'm bringing other people and they're putting their money in and they're raising capital and they're doing that, it doesn't make sense for me to create their competition. I don't mind competing with anybody. So that's what that is. And so feel free to reach out. We're still doing a lot of stuff. I'm speaking this weekend in Miami. We're doing an amazing event. We've got a Deal Makers Weekend coming up in January. So I'm still around, still doing things and all that. I hate to bounce out as all these are coming in. Let's see. Working for Google now. That's a great place to learn, a great place to be. Yes, I did not say that. This is thank you, Patrick. So how do you connect? Like if you do want to be a part of PEFI 6, what in the world do you do, right? Like what in the world? So I did not tell y'all that. Hit Nori. I'm putting this in. I don't know if I send a chat, if it goes to all of them or not. But it is Nori at Financier Bank with a C in bank as opposed to a K. And cool. So it does. It goes to all the different platforms. So Nori, at financierbank.com, send an email if you're interested. You can go to acechapman.com. I would say send the email because you get a little bit more priority because we get a lot of different leads that go to acechapman.com. But do both. Why not? So that's how you connect. We're going to do PEFI 6. I'm starting those interviews. Shout out to the folks that have been patient. Definitely appreciate it. Melvin says, these videos are enough, Ace. Appreciate it. I appreciate you saying that. I do, like I said, want to provide value for sure. Do I coach on creating funds? Yes, that is the private equity fund incubator. We actually incubate funds. Coaching is one thing, man. But hey, doing it together, incubating it together, and me putting up my money out of my bank account to do it is a whole nother. Just rapid fire some of these. Hey, Ace, appreciate your advice. You're still active in the DeFi space. Any pointers? I'll do a video coming up. That's too deep for me to just pop a few things out there. But the short answer is yes. I think there's no option but to continue in the ups and the downs to be heavy in the DeFi space, understand the DeFi space, play in the DeFi space. Our funds are in the DeFi space. PEFI 2 just hit me. The kind of manager of PEFI 2 just hit me like, yo, like, hey, here's what we're doing. Think about this. Here's the returns and all that stuff. So shout out to him. All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a great night. I think I'm going to get a workout in and turn it in. Have a great night, everybody. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I so appreciate each of y'all.